Yes, well, hello everyone. My name is Steven Wickham. I was only in London's Burning the once, and I played a character called the Catering Instructor because I was a catering instructor in one episode, and I can't tell you dates. You probably can tell me dates, but I can't at the moment. But, you know, there we go. Well, like all actors, your agent sends you off for a part and you do an audition, and if they like you, you get it. I mean, that's how it worked then. It's much more difficult now, having dealt with pandemics and things, but back then it was easy. You know, agents and casting directors got together and there you are. So I don't remember auditioning. I know I must have done. Memory gets a little hazy as you get older, but no, I do remember doing it, and I remember we did have a lot of fun. So, you know, ask me anything.
Filmed.
Well, I thought about this, and every time I drive into London and head out east towards sort of New Cross, that area, I always pass by the road because it was off a main road in sort of the New Cross, I believe it was. And I can see the building still up there as I go past, but I couldn't tell you the road. But it was felt like a sort of old college or that sort of building with big, spacious rooms where they had all the tables laid out for the cookery course. Up a couple of floors, I think. Now, am I right in thinking James Hazeldine did direct that episode? I think he did. So he, you know, kind of knew what he was doing and knew how the series worked, knew the best way to get a scene. So it was all very professional. I mean, I wasn't a regular watcher, I have to say, because around about that time, you know, you're working a lot, and I didn't tend to watch it, but, you know, on and off. But I knew that I had a character called, was it Zoe? Yeah, who was married to Colin. And Colin's mum didn't like Zoe having a life, I seem to think.
Skills.
Oh, God, no. I mean, they're not looking for that. They're just looking for someone who would look good on screen and would be able to cope with the comedy of it because, you know, in the end, it's quite funny. And that's what they were looking for. And I looked the part, and there you are. You know, you don't have to go to catering school to learn how to do that, because I wasn't doing anything catering wise. I was just wandering around saying, oh, that's very nice. You know, put a bit of salt in that or whatever. Just in a kind of supervisory capacity. That's all I was doing until Colin's mum storms in. So no, didn't have to do any learning. No. Well, it's only a short scene. But the thing is, we knew we could only do that last bit once with the chocolate. There was only one set of costumes for each of us. We had to do it, and that was it. And just accept what was going to happen covered in chocolate. Thankfully, Deirdre, Colin's mum, had quite a good aim, so it got most of us. But I mean, if she'd have missed and it had gone over the shoulder, then I don't know what they'd have done. Had to scrape it all off and start again, I suppose. But, you know, it's a nice little scene, a few little shots setting it up, wandering around, chatting. The actress playing Zoe, whose name I can't remember, was, you know, very sweet. Yeah, and it's just, you know, a nice little supporting scene, showing that Colin must have a hell of a rotten life. with a mother like that.
So
You'll find that when with a lot of filming, I don't know anything. It could be The Bill, London's Burning, EastEnders, whatever it is. If you're in for a small character or a couple of days, then you only ever meet those couple of people you're there with. You'll never meet the rest of the cast. So you can go along there and find you haven't met half the policemen in the station or half the firemen. You only ever meet that very small nugget of the people that you're there filming with. So it's a nice experience, but it's not, sometimes it's not what you hope it will be. But, you know, I did have a lot of fun.
makeup.
I can't tell you anything really. It was a chef's outfit, wasn't it, with a tall hat? Not much I can say about it. I mean, you're given your costume, you put it on and off you go. I can't really, there's not much to say about costume and makeup. I mean, I know it took a while to get all the chocolate off afterwards because we were fairly covered. But no, I can't tell you much about costume and makeup, you know. There's not a lot of makeup involved in the costume as you see it.
Set.
One thing I was thinking about, because back at this time, so in '93, I was with an agency that is called a co-op agency. So it's run by actors for themselves. And you don't actually have an agent, you just do it yourself and you go with all the suggestions and send off your members for parts. One of our actors at the time was Samantha Beckinsale. And it was through us that she got her part in London's Burning. And I do remember, I think I was the first person to ring her up to say, congratulations, you got the part. And she was great in the show. I know she was, because, you know, beautiful girl, and she was a good actress. So I have also that little other connection to, you know, Sammy. So I don't know where she is now. I know she's given up the business and moved on. You know, living a happy life, I hope. But yeah, there's another little connection to the show there as well. Oh, of course. I mean, as actors, you hope for a bigger role, for longer, more episodes. I mean, that was a one-off just from what the part was at the time. You know, he wasn't going to reappear. It made the joke, and that was it. I mean, London's Burning was one of those programs like The Bill where actors could end up being in it half a dozen times over its length. I think The Bill was something there like 20 years, wasn't it? So, I mean, I was in that 5 times. So, yes, I would have loved to have gone back and done something else. But that's fate, isn't it? You just have to wait and see. Something right for you comes up. Okay, then, do you remember, are you aware of a series called High Street Blues? It was for London Weekend Television. It was written by Jimmy Perry.
Oh, yeah.
It had 6 episodes and it was terrible. And I was in an episode playing an unhelpful policeman who didn't have a name. It was just policeman. So I said to Jimmy, can you call me something? And he said, how about PC Croft after David? I said, oh, lovely, I'll do that. That's fine, PC Croft. So there's a series you could look up because it had big names in there. It was for London Weekend Television, 6 episodes. Huge flop because it wasn't very funny. Set in a high street, you know, lots of different shops and all the hilarious characters. It was a gag about Hill Street Blues, which was a big American series at the time. So High Street Blues. Still acting 40 years on. I don't know when this will go on to YouTube, but I think it's still valid. There's a show on iPlayer at the moment called Andy and the Band, which is a children's show on CBBC. I was the guest star in their special called Save Christmas, so you can still get that on iPlayer. I've just been making a film. Can't really talk about it, but it's a Christmas magical film by the people who made Nativity and all of those films. And that's going to be, I think, on Netflix around Christmas time. That's something nice to look out for. So I'm still going strong, still trying, still acting, still scrubbling for money, but you know, that's the way it goes.
An interview.
No, not at all. You're very welcome. I mean, all those people who've said nice things on Twitter and are looking forward to seeing this, well, you know, thank you for watching. Nice to see you all. And keep supporting the show, because fans are what make things. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of lots of things. You love London's Burning. At the moment, I've always been a Doctor Who fan, and I'm not ashamed of that. And so, keep being fans. That's the thing.